Hello, everyone. I want to spend a couple of minutes just to guide you through how and why we do this weekly project progress report. Um, this is, of course, first to keep you on track of your project. You can use it to report to your advisor and the client if you have any. And this is also important practice for you to run a more rigorous project after you graduate. Okay, so some of these might not make a lot of sense to you, but I will like to ask you to finish everything every week. It's a great tool to have now and also after you finish your degree. So of course these are simple thing, right? You do your project name. This is progress report, and this status report day. And so when is your file? When do you file this report? Who are the member? Sorry, and who are the advisor, a capstone advisor, and if you have a sponsor or a client, you should fill it here. And the period is that week usually. It might not be the same as the report day, right? But the report is when you file this report, and period is when it already happened, from what time to what time. Okay. The cost variance and overtime hours. Okay. So we plan that every student in this particular class spend between 12 and 16 hours a week on the project. So this is, you don't have to be very precise, but you should calculate. Um, for example, you schedule to spend 16 hours and you um, spend actually 20 hours per this week, then you can say, okay, this is 25% um, over. So this is for the advisor and for your future company to track the performance and compare against to the budget. Okay, and this one is okay. By let's say by the fourth week, you're supposed to finish 60%, and you've actually finished 70%. Then you can say I have 10% ahead of schedule. So this allowed your advisor and your team member to have and to teaching staff to have a quick overview of how is the progress of your project. Okay. Then how many hours total to that day? For example, if you plan to have 16 hours per week times two members, so it's 32 hours per week. And let's say this is a week 5, so you should have 5 weeks times 32 hours. So you're supposed to spend 160 hours till week 5, and roughly how many hours you have spent, for example. Um, and approved hours, this is for you is not required since no one pay you, so you can put in not applicable and total number of hours. So from this point on, you already spent 200 hours. Let's say you might have to spend totally 300 hours on your project, then you can say, well, 300 hours. So this will give the advisor or the supervisor in the future a clear guidance on how is the project going. Okay, so what is the issue? For example, I would say the database can't connect to the say Python script or something, a problem, or you ahead of schedule, but the evaluator or the tester are not available earlier. So something to talk about what are the issues. Doesn't limit it to two. And if you don't have any, okay, then you can put in, but still I would like you to put in, say this is not applicable, or say none. So for example, have you changed the schedule? Have you changed the scope of the project? For example, you are thinking about using Python, but you decide to use JavaScript, right? Those are major changes. Okay. What are the problems you have faced this particular period? For example, let's say the server is slow. Then the action is to change to, let's say, a university server or something else. Okay. So, so during this time, during this week, so what are the issue and what are the action? This is your planning for the next week. So, what are the issue will be taken, will be act upon in the next in the future. Okay, so then this one is you keep track of what you have done this week. Okay, so for example, complete the user interface. Number 2 is to test it whatever unit. Okay, which programming unit, for example, and so on. Okay, and each team member might have a different contribution. And if the client feedback, and this one could be the client or your advisor provide feedback here. So if it's nothing, then let's say nothing. Okay, so we know it is entered. So this is will take you only a few minutes per week, but this is a good exercise. These are just a guideline. So the idea is using this document to track your progress and also to inform the client and your advisor. So hopefully this will help you to understand why we do this. If you feel this additional or these are not applicable, welcome to change it. As long as they fulfill the goal of keeping everyone on track, will be fine. And you need to submit this. Every member need to submit this every week during the capstone process. Okay, that's it.